Have you ever walked through your home and thought, do we really need all this space? Or maybe you've asked yourself, are we spending a lot of time and money in this house? For some people, this is when the idea of downsizing comes up. Pero the bigger question is, do you rent or own when you decide to do it? So today we're going to be discussing the pros and the cons so you can make the best decision for your lifestyle. So let's start.
First of all, let's talk about why downsizing even comes up. Maybe because the kid's already gone, so you're empty nesters. And number two, the cost of running a big house, like utilities, the taxes, or even the upkeep of the house, it's cutting into your savings. And number three, for some, maybe they just want to lead a simple life. Less cleaning, less fixing, so that they can even enjoy the things that they want, like their hobbies or traveling.
But let's not forget, there are some people who choose to stay put in their homes instead of downsizing. For some, it could be emotional ties.
Yeah.
Kasi dito na nila pinalaki yung mga anak nila, or they've celebrated a lot of milestones, or they made countless memories. And also, sometimes it's not always about the house, di ba? It's also about the neighbors, the community, and yung routine mo na it's become part of your identity. Katulad natin, we've been here in our house like for
20 plus years already.
20 plus years.
Yeah.
And we know everybody already in our community. You know, the kids are
All grown up. Before they
you
were
know.
like,
Actually, they were not even born yet.
yeah.
So now they have their own lives. You know, that's one of the reasons also that some people want to stay put in their homes.
Right. And not only that, if the mortgage is already paid off, or maybe let's say you're close to it, staying put makes financial sense.
Right.
Right? And that's because there, first of all, no new payments, or the equity is already there.
Correct.
Right?
Yeah.
So it's a stable choice that works for many.
And also having that extra space is a blessing, you know, for family gatherings or when the grandkids come over.
Or maybe like your sister came over,
Oh,
diba?
yeah,
May
right.
space.
Yeah. And katulad ako, I love entertaining. So I want a bigger space.
Yeah.
Diba?
But who ends up cleaning?
And speaking of choices, whether you want to stay put or you want to downsize, it really depends on your priorities and your goals.
Yes.
So now let's start discussing about that. Let's run down the pros and the cons of renting and owning. So each has its own advantages and challenges. Okay, let's start with flexibility. When you rent kasi, it's easy to move with short notice. Typically, leases kasi are 6 to 12 months. Pero when you own, moving requires selling the property or renting it out, which takes more time and effort. Next naman is upfront costs. When you're renting kasi, usually it's just a deposit and the first month's rent. So typically siguro mga 5 to 8,000. Pero when you own naman, mas pataas ang upfront cost. Ang down payment is typically 10 to 20% of the home price plus closing costs. Pero kung magda-downsize ka at malaki yung equity mo sa bahay na yon, kayang-kaya mong bayaran yung upfront cost. Baka nga kaya mong bayaran ng cash yung bahay eh. Next naman is monthly expenses. When renting, fixed ang rent payments but subject to increases at lease renewal. Pero when you're owning, mortgage payments may vary if it's adjustable rate. Pero it can also be a fixed one if it's a fixed rate. Tapos you also have property taxes, HOA fees, and property insurance. Next, we have maintenance. When renting, the landlord handles repairs and maintenance. So you don't have to worry about anything. You just call the landlord if something goes wrong. Pero when you own naman, all repair and maintenance responsibilities fall on the homeowner. So medyo sakit sa ulo. Customization naman. When you're renting, limited ang ability nyo to personalize or renovate. While when you own the house naman, you have the freedom to remodel, to decorate, and make permanent changes to the property. So in short, you can do whatever you want. And next naman is equity. With renting, no equity is built. When you own naman, equity builds over time as you pay off the mortgage. Let's talk about long-term investment naman. When you're renting, there's no investment return because money spent is gone. Diba nga, a lot of people say, when you rent, that's money down the drain. Pero when you own naman, there's a potential for property value appreciation, offering a long-term financial asset. For stability naman, when renting, yung lease terms may change. Yung landlord could choose not to renew. So ang hirap nun, you have to look for another place to live. Pero when you own naman, it provides stability and permanence with no risk of being asked to vacate. So here you have peace of mind that you have a roof over your head all the time. Tax benefits naman. For renting, there's no tax benefit. But when you own the property, mortgage interest and property taxes may be deductible. For lifestyle naman, when renting, ito yung best for those who prioritize mobility. Or ito yung mga tao na they're still trying to figure out where they want to settle, so palipat-lipat pa muna sila. Pero when you own naman the house, these are best for those seeking stability and a long-term place to call home.
Next would be financial risk. In renting, there's minimal risk, so there's no market exposure. On the other hand, when owning property, syempre, you have the risk of property value fluctuations or financial strain from maintenance costs. Next, let's talk about storage and space.
In renting, space may be limited, and any additional storage might require extra rental fees.
You're right, and yung storage fees na yan can quickly add up and tataas ang monthly expenses mo pa.
But on the other hand, when owning property, there's more control over space and storage options. Like there are no extra fees for utilizing the property.
Ang issue dito lang is retirees cannot decide what to keep and kung ano yung kailangang i-toss nila kasi nga they have more space.
And of course, lastly is the legacy. It's not applicable for renting kasi you don't own the property. But on the other hand, when you own, you can leave this as an inheritance to your children.
We've seen friends who've rented out after downsizing and they love it. That's because they don't have to worry about property maintenance.
Right. And
You know?
they're able to like travel,
Travel,
you know, do whatever they want to do.
No worries, yeah.
On the flip side naman, we know of a couple who bought a condo and they said that it's a perfect balance between small and stable. Diba? So iba-iba talaga yung yung feeling ng or yung priorities kasi ng tao.
Depende talaga.
Depende. And in addition naman, if you sell your big house, you can buy a smaller house and you can pay it in cash.
Yeah.
Diba? I mean, pero it really depends in the area that you buy. Kasi yung iba ngayon mahal eh.
Oh.
Pero if you buy a smaller house and meron kang extra money, that extra money you can use for your retirement expenses. Or you can actually invest it and then in the future, that could be your legacy. You can leave it to your heirs. Diba?
Makes sense, yeah.
So before you decide, make sure that you think about your lifestyle, the lifestyle that you want to live. Pero also, you take into consideration the financial aspect of it. Maybe you should do crunch some numbers and see what works best for you. Or maybe ask for an advice from a financial advisor.
Right. And also, if you're mortgage free, staying put makes more financial sense.
Right, yeah. But if you're considering selling and downsizing, are you comfortable, making monthly payments? So you have to consider also those things.
Isa pa yun.
So kanya-kanya talaga. So between renting and owning, there are pros and cons. So you just have to really check it out and weigh things over.
Yes.
Diba? Kung ano yung swak sa lifestyle, lifestyle mo. So anong verdict? Are you going to rent for flexibility or own for stability?
Well, ultimately, it's what fits your life right now or where you see yourself in the near future.
So naisip niyo na ba mag-downsize? Kasi kami ni Haven right now, hindi na tayo magda-downsize, no?
No more.
Kasi, okay na sa amin yung size ng house.
Oh.
Tapos, medyo malapit na rin bayaran yung mortgage. Malapit nang matapos. So, I think we'll just stick
we're
here.
Good.
Yeah, we're
good.
We're fine.
Yeah.
So, hopefully, this video has, given you more information para makapag-decide kayo on what to do, to rent or to own, and, how you see yourself in the future. Sana nagustuhan nyo yung topic natin for today. And if you did, please give us a thumbs up and If you're new to our channel, please like and subscribe, and
Hit the notification bell.
we've got plenty more tips to come in our next videos. So salamat sa panonood, and we'll see you next time.
Bye!